Now look, let me give you a little helpful guide into how you can tell political hacks from real progressives and real conservatives. So in the Democratic world, you know someone's a Democratic hack when they come around and say, well, I don't know, warrantless wiretapping, and NSA spy. No, when Bush did it, it was terrible. But when Obama does it, he does it with kindness and love. No, he does it to look out for you, whereas Bush was looking into what you were doing. No, nonsense. They're doing very similar things and oftentimes the same exact things. So that's not a real progressive. That's the Democratic hack, right? And you can go on and on. No, when Bush stayed in Afghanistan, it was terrible. When Obama stays in Afghanistan, it's because he loves Afghanistan. And with drone strikes, no. When Obama does them, they're awesome. They just drop flowers and love and peace. Now, on the Republican side, you can tell just two ways that you can tell if you're talking to a Republican hack rather than a real conservative. So, number one, if they say that they're against Citizens United, they're actually very likely to be a real conservative, because overwhelming majorities of conservatives, when asked, just like overwhelming majorities of all Americans, say that they don't like the Citizens United decision. They're against money in politics. You know why? Real conservatives hate crony capitalism. Okay? They can't stand it. And they know it. They know it in their bones, and they know it in the stories that they see. A donor gives money to a politician, and lo and behold, look at that no-bid contract he got, or other sweetheart deals that he got. Conservatives hate that. But Republican Party hacks, they love that. They live in that. They're like, the Karl Roves of the world are like, well, what would we do if we didn't service our donors? No. Citizens United is lovely. Of course, there should be more money in politics. Of course, that only helps us. By us, he means the Republican establishment. He doesn't mean actual conservative voters. Second way you can tell is if they're against the idea of a convention. So the convention would be to get an amendment to get money out of politics, right? The Republican Party's like, no, are you crazy? We love the establishment. We love the system as it is. Don't touch the system. Don't touch the system. That's how we all get paid. Whereas real conservative activists, and you go ask them, man. You go ask Tea Party activists, conservative activists across the country now, okay? Are you in favor of a convention so you can do amendments? And it might be amendments I totally disagree with. It could be balanced budget amendment, etc. But they're like, yeah, hell yeah, we actually want to take control of our government, right? Now, you might not agree with that, and there's a lot of things that you might disagree with a real progressive on too. But at least that's the difference between people who actually come at it from ideology and party hacks who only want to keep the established system as it is. Now, on the progressive side, there's something called Wolfpack that we do, wolf-pack.com, right? And what we're doing is, yes, we might be progressives. I'm the founder of it, and I'm a progressive, right? But we don't give a damn about Democrats, Republicans. All we care about is we just want to go back to a world where we had a real functioning democracy, and we could have real debates between conservatives and liberals and libertarians and progressives and get all those ideas out there. And right now, there's no debate. Here's how the debate is settled. Somebody puts cold, hard cash on the table, they get exactly what they want. That's not a democracy. That doesn't help liberals, that doesn't help conservatives, that doesn't help real Americans. But what's awesome is that so many Americans, and about 90% of Americans, according to the public polling, say that they're on our side. So many Americans in red states as well as blue states are now saying, hell yeah. It's time to change the system, man. So let me tell you about what's happening in Idaho and Kentucky. Now, before I told you, at Wolfpack, the first place I got introduced a resolution to get money out of politics so we can stop the crony capitalism and stop all the bribery, etc., was in Texas of all places. And now we've got a state leader in Idaho named Andrew Deskins, and he's done some awesome work there. You know what he did? He's like, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and see if I can talk to my state legislators. And lo and behold, he did. He met one of them at a coffee shop, and they heard him out, and they're like, yeah, I'll introduce that resolution. So all of a sudden, we're coming to Idaho. We're coming to Kentucky. Let me tell you about Kentucky. David Brooks in Kentucky. He said he was tired of hearing on the news day in and day out about how money controlled politics. Now, of course, CNN doesn't tell him that. We tell him that, but also he sees it in the stories that CNN reports, even if CNN won't spell it out, right? But you see every time somebody's got more money, they win, right? He said, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do something about it. And it's amazing what one person can do. Same thing, same story as Idaho, same story that I've talked to people in Florida, Michigan, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, all over the country. It starts with just one person. It's amazing what one person can do. Talk to legislators in Kentucky. They're like, oh, wait, you know what? You're right. 90% of citizens hate Citizens United, even in a red state like Kentucky. Yeah, I'm in. And they're going to introduce a resolution. That's progress. That's awesome. That's how we get it done. And by the way, all that BS talk in Washington about centrism and bipartisan action, etc. Here is something actually bipartisan, cross-partisan, that serves all of us. Get the damn money out of politics and get rid of the Republican and Democratic hacks. If we could do it in Kentucky and we could do it in Idaho, believe me, we could do it anywhere. The first step is introducing the resolution, which is coming soon in those states, and then you got to get it passed, do it in 34 states, and we're going to a convention of the people to get an amendment. Every generation, we've had an amendment to the Constitution to make it a more perfect union. We could do it again in this generation. wolf-pac.com. Become part of the answer, okay? Whether you do it as a volunteer, you do it as a member, you do it as a donor, or it's just simply signing a petition, every little bit helps, okay? We know what the problem is. Now let's go fix it, and we can do it together.